Hi everyone, Pratima here, and if you look at the smartphone market right now, the $500 to $800 price bracket, or let's say 50,000 rupees to 80,000 rupees, is getting really exciting. I think this is the sweet spot for most people to upgrade to. The Pro and the Ultra phones have not only become expensive, but honestly a bit boring too. So yeah, this $500 to $800 segment is where you get the real value today. And in this category, I think the BBK group, which owns OnePlus, Vivo, Oppo, iQOO and Realme, is absolutely killing it. This year's OnePlus 15, for the price, it's a great device. Except for the camera department, I think it pretty much nails everything. I'm also really liking this Vivo X300. This cute little phone, it's so good. Then we also have the iQOO 15, which has just launched in India today. There's the Oppo Find X9 II and Realme. Realme, I think they have also improved with the new Realme GT8 Pro. So overall, BBK is absolutely dominating this affordable flagship category right now. Even Apple has done something special this year because the iPhone 17 for Apple is a big win. I think it's the most improved iPhone from one generation to the next that we have seen in a long time. Honestly, there's now less reason to even go for the Pro model because the value of the regular iPhone 17 is just that good. But in this very segment, I think Xiaomi has been struggling a bit until today because this phone, the Poco F8 Ultra, has really surprised me. I have been using it for about a week now and Poco has done some really good stuff here. But before I share my full experience, first let's get done with the unboxing. Alright, so you can see we have a smaller box this time because the charger is missing from the box, and this is the first time that Poco has not included a charger inside the box. So here we have a little paper box inside which has the SIM ejector tool. Then we have a couple of things here, a color matching cover, and then we have a ton of paperwork which is going to go to waste, and then we have a type A to type C cable, and then finally we have the Poco F8 Ultra in this matte black color, and that's all you get inside the box. Okay, the main reason I'm really liking this year's Poco F8 Ultra is that Poco has actually made the right compromises in the right areas, and more importantly, they've actually improved the weaker spots like the cameras. And because of that, this phone feels very well balanced overall. And the first cost-cutting area we see here is the design. For example, we get a plastic back here. Instead of glass, there's an inferior Poco Shield glass for the display protection. But the good thing is that the frames here are still metal. So overall, yeah, it might not feel like the most premium flagship out there, but I don't think you can complain much. It gets the job done. The camera module, by the way, looks very similar to the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but a fun fact is that it was actually Poco who introduced this design first with the Poco F6 Pro, so it's not really Poco copying iPhone, it's actually the other way around. Now, the display is where this phone really shines. Poco is using the same panel as the more expensive Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, and if you've seen that review of mine, you already know how good this panel is. It's a flat display this time, and this display can get really bright, can go very dim at night, supports every HDR certification, Dolby Vision, DC dimming and PWM dimming. So basically, everything you would expect from a top-tier display you get here. And the bezels are super slim too, even on the chin. And this is also the first time on a Poco phone that we get an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, which I really love. So overall, this is an A+ display. And to complement the great display, Poco has also included a really nice vibration motor here. It's definitely one of the best I have experienced alongside the OnePlus 15. And for the audio, Poco has collaborated with Bose this time. We get two speakers here, top plus bottom, as we get with most phones, but then there's a third one just beside the cameras, and the audio is surprisingly immersive. The bass and the trebles feel more pronounced, and it gives a very unique kind of experience. For a first-gen collaboration, I think this is really nice. The next area where Poco is absolutely known for is pure performance, and the Poco F8 Ultra is no exception. We're getting all the top-tier specs you can expect, the latest flagship Snapdragon chipset, super fast LPDDR5 XRAM, UFS 4.1 storage with really good random and sequential speeds, and a large vapor chamber cooling system for the thermals. And if I'm not mistaken, this probably is the most affordable phone to feature this new flagship Snapdragon processor. So needless to say, it feels extremely fast, and I think the new HyperOS 3.0 has also overall improved in terms of smoothness, animations, and fluidity. I have enjoyed using it so far. But since I am also carrying the OnePlus 15 as my secondary phone, I did notice that HyperOS is slightly behind in terms of RAM management. There are also some touch response issues here and there, and it's not as refined as what we get on OnePlus or Oppo phones. So yes, that's one area where Poco still feels a little weak. But overall, it's a very fast phone, and I think most users will be absolutely happy with the performance here, especially in terms of gaming. In PUBG Mobile and other heavy games, I've been getting really good FPS numbers and excellent 5% lows and stable gameplay. And what I really liked is that it does not overheat during gaming sessions either. It never exceeded 40 degrees in my test. However, during long video recording sessions of like 30 to 40 minutes, it did get quite hot. But again, for gaming, Poco has optimized the thermals very well here. The battery life on this phone is solid too. We get a 6500 mAh silicon carbon battery, and I was consistently getting like 9 to 10 hours of screen on time, which is excellent. For charging, there's a 100-watt support with Xiaomi's official charger, and it can take the phone from 0 to 100% in around 35 to 40 minutes. But even with a standard 65-watt power delivery charger, it still charges quite fast. We also get 50-watt wireless charging, and another plus is that the USB Type-C port here is USB 3.2 Gen 1, so Poco has not compromised in this area as well. Okay, moving on, the one area where Poco phones have always struggled is the camera, but this phone really surprised me. I was honestly expecting average camera performance like we've seen on many other Poco phones and even some Xiaomi flagships, but this time with the Poco F8 Ultra, things have finally changed. Here, the main camera clicks pleasant looking photos in all kinds of lighting conditions. They look slightly contrasty, kind of like the Leica style processing. Leica usually crushes the shadows, but here Poco has pushed the contrast a bit and it actually looks nice. The dynamic range is also surprisingly good, and overall the images look vibrant, punchy, and immensely likable. Just check out these samples. I didn't expect this from a Poco phone. There's also a 5x periscope lens here, and I think this might be the only phone in its class to offer one aside from the Pixel 10, but that one isn't great. Here though, the 5x periscope lens is actually very capable. It's not the fastest, but it captures detailed and usable photos, as you can see from these samples right here. What really surprised me were the portraits from the 5x lens. It's really good. Nice skin tones, not too overprocessed. Yes, Poco brightens up the skin tone slightly, but it does not look unnatural at all. The bokeh is quite precise, and that slightly squarish blur actually looks great. The macro shots from the 5x lens are also pretty decent. It does not let you get extremely close like some high-end flagships, but with around 30 centimeters of minimum focus distance, you can get some really good results. Even during low light, the main and the telephoto lenses perform really well. There's a yellowish warm tone to the images which give a pleasant look, and the dynamic range and details are not bad. I will be sharing my top 50 photos from the Poco F8 Ultra down in the description with a Google Drive link, so make sure you check that out. You will be surprised by the nice photos that I was able to click with this phone. Now, the only weak area of this camera setup is the ultra-wide camera. It's a basic sensor with just a 102-degree field of view, so it's not very wide. In many situations, I found myself stepping backward and clicking from the primary camera instead, simply because the ultra-wide lens is not very wide and it compromises in almost all the aspects. The selfies are also decent. Yes, there is some skin smoothing going on, but considering the price, I think the selfies are pretty nice with superb highlight management. The videography aspect is also pretty decent on this phone. You can shoot 4K 60 FPS from all of the lenses, but I do think a software update is needed to improve the overall video quality. The dynamic range is decent, but the optical image stabilization at 4K 60 FPS isn't working very well. I have noticed video wobbling and pulsating, especially during low light and dusk situations. At 4K 30 FPS, the results are much better, so that's the mode I would recommend for now. The ultra-wide video as expected isn't very good, but with the main wide camera, you can record decent footage, and even the 5x telephoto lens gives you okay kind of results.
When it comes to selfie videos, you can shoot at a maximum of 4K 30 FPS. You don't have a 60 FPS option, but the stabilization is decent. The background exposure management is not bad. The skin does appear a little soft, but the audio is decent. So I don't know, I think I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, so conclusion time, and yeah, as I said earlier, I believe Poco has made the right compromises in the right areas with the Poco F8 Ultra, and for the price, they have delivered an all-rounder flagship phone with very minimal and small compromises. And if you consider Poco's aggressive pricing strategy and all the early bird discounts, I think it might actually offer better value than something like the OnePlus 15, especially if you're into cameras. Compared to the OnePlus 15, the Poco F8 Ultra definitely provides a much better camera experience for sure. The main and the telephoto lenses are just so good that I still can't believe it. So yeah, hopefully Poco brings this phone to India very soon, and if it's priced below 60,000 or even below 65,000, I think it's going to be very, very successful, because both the OnePlus 15 and the iQOO 15 have hiked their prices this year, crossing the 70,000 price mark, and that puts the Poco F8 Ultra in a very sweet spot. Alright everyone, that was all for our unboxing and very detailed review of the Poco F8 Ultra. What do you think about this phone? Do let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Saying this, I'm Pratima and thank you so much for watching.